All right, welcome back, gamer people, to another episode of the D&D Brothers. I'm your host, Kyle, along with my co-host,
Jamie.
There you go.
Yeah.
So today we're
Got my name right today.
Congratulations. So we're working towards a much higher quality of presentation.
That's right.
Your name is right. Your age is right. Like we're getting everything
I'm batting 1,000.
sorted out. Yeah, it's really glad to see you coming along, man.
Look, you know what? I strive for excellence.
I'm so proud of you.
I modeled myself after you.
Well, you know, what did you do for the first 8 years of your life then?
Struggled.
Yeah. So so today we're going to be doing another review of our campaign, Storm King's Thunder.
Correct. Yeah.
This week was actually a little bit of a slower week. We didn't get too much accomplished as far as the campaign goes. It was a bit of a shorter session as well. So there were a couple of things that came up. So basically what happened was the party had pursued this barbarian horde leader back to his people, and we had been tasked with a mission to go and kill him, that he was from a spiritual god of the barbarians that knew that he was corrupted and wanted him to be removed as the head of their people. So basically we got turned into assassins.
Yeah.
This is directly following, by the way, us having killed our way through their ancestors'
grave
burial ground, which is in another video that you can go back and watch.
You killed most of my people so well, we're gonna have you kill.
Yeah, we're gonna send you out to murder the fuck out of this other guy, right?
Yep.
So we ended up going. We found him. So we'll start off by talking about that. When we first started interacting with that barbarian leader, it didn't seem to me like you were actually too keen on us getting into a direct conflict with him right away. But we really pushed it to get that fight to happen with him, because he was saying, I'm going to retreat or no, and he had his barbarian army with him. Were you expecting us to be able to 1v1 him? Because, how that happened was my character fought the barbarian leader 1v1, and I'm curious to know if that's how you were expecting that to go.
Yes, I knew that the ultimate goal that the party had decided was to have you challenge Warmblood to this one-on-one combat.
They decided that on a session, by the way, where I wasn't even there.
That's right, yeah, exactly.
They just decided that I was going to be the one to do it.
They asked for a volunteer. Kyle didn't object, mainly because he wasn't present, and so he was elected the leader of the assassination party. So, yeah. No, I expected you to step forward and challenge him to combat. I just wanted to really, when I designed that encounter, I really wanted to make sure that you guys understood the limits of one-on-one combat. I wanted to make sure that if somebody decided that they were going to jump in and do something to lend a hand or meddle in the combat itself, that there was going to be dire consequences.
Okay.
And that's part of the reason the warriors were there. The other factor is when I was thinking about these tribesmen and stuff like that, who elect leaders based on prowess and power in most cases, although not necessarily in Warmblood's case. I wanted to make sure that there were witnesses that could attest to the fact that the fight had been fair,
right? Okay.
And that Warmblood had been.
Well, to be fair, it didn't look fair because I wiped the fucking floor with that guy. So, due to obviously some very good rolls and everything like that. And I do think that I was just by default more powerful than he was as a character, But he did very little and just got murdered.
Yeah.
So,
which was actually really cool, because that brings us to the other point that I really enjoyed role playing when you described how you were dealing that final blow.
Yeah.
You created you ad-libbed that these ancestral spirits that are part of your character's background.
Yes, for reference of anybody who's curious, my character is a barbarian with the Ancestral Guardian subclass, or barbarian subclass. So as a flair thing, during that encounter, because the barbarians that we were dealing with are very much about the ancestors, I kind of flared that my ancestors, because I activated my rage, which is where they come from, and they were present in the fight. So Jamie then was able to do something a little bit with that.
So that's it, and then you sort of opened that door, as I said, with your description of the final blow to Warmblood, where you said the spirits kind of rushed forward and they grabbed him and tore him to pieces. Well, I rolled with that because that wasn't obviously something I could have planned for.
Yeah.
It was absolutely fantastic. So I role played that, and so Warmblood's body was torn apart by these avenging ancestral spirits of yours.
Yeah.
But his ghost, his spirit, was left kneeling on the ground.
Yeah. I was definitely very shocked by that.
That's it. And I made it so that he, again, sort of flying by the seat of my pants, improving. I said, you know what? He doesn't realize he's dead yet.
Right.
You know, he's still kneeling there and he's expecting this final blow to come and nothing happens.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because, of course, building into the story with these tribal warriors and the Great Worm tribe who rely heavily on the belief of their spiritual ancestors and guardians and stuff like that. This is huge for them to see one of their own, one of the spirits left lingering on the material plane after being defeated in combat. That's going to open some interesting storylines and doors. So I was thrilled.
Well, that's how the party reacted to that. Was we were all like, "What do we do? Like, is there something more to be done?" You know, like one of our party card would like put their hand through it and everything. Yeah. We did speak with Dad to see if he knew what was going on. No, he didn't.
No,
he was just as confused as we were. We ended up speaking to
one of the shamans.
One of the shamans of the tribe, saying, "Is this unprecedented? Like, has this happened before? You know, like what's the situation?"
And they informed you that no, there was no recorded action of this taking place either.
So this was something about playing in a campaign where you can kind of ad-lib a little bit. Is we don't know what happened. We ended up finishing off that thing where we just left. We didn't know what to do. So that was a pretty cool encounter from both players. I feel like it was well role played. The rest of the team was like ready to jump in and help me if I needed it, you know, but that was obviously going to result in their team jumping in. So it could have been this whole crazy thing, but it ended up working out pretty in our favor by the end.
Well, that's it. You guys were able to go back to the Great Worm Cavern.
Brings us to the next kind of thing that happened that I thought was, this is a bit smaller of a portion, but I thought it was super entertaining because it's just like, it only happens occasionally, but it was really great. So we get back to the cave, right, and we're talking to the spiritual guide, which was, what was it?
It's a coatl.
A coatl. So it's, so it comes out.
Winged serpent.
A winged serpent, whatever, you know. So it comes out and we're like, we completed the quest and everything like that. And then our sorcerer decides that he wants to ask some questions because he's still like, what the fuck did we just leave behind? There's like the spirit of this dude's wandering around, right? And the coatl was like, yeah, that's pretty crazy. I don't know what happened with that. So like the spiritual guide is like, I don't know what happened with that, right? And so we're like, okay, well, I guess, you know, have you ever heard of this, you know, and everything? And the coatl's like, no, you know, and whatever. And then the sorcerer is like, well, should we do something about this? And the coatl was from your answer was just kind of like, well, you know, there's not really much to be done. I don't really know about this and everything like that. And then the sorcerer's like, well, I mean, yeah, but like if you reward us, we'll go deal with it. And the coatl's like, no, I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know what's going on, right? And the rest of the team's kind of like, no, this is like a no. And the sorcerer triple downs. He's like, no. Like, don't you want us to deal with this situation? Like, do you want us to go handle it and everything? And the coatl's like, no, I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not giving you extra to go deal with this situation. I have no fucking clue. And the best part is that I saw DM trying to like shoo a player away from a concept, and he was a dog with a fucking bone. And then like this divine celestial made of good character, like this coatl, is starting to get kind of pissy. Like, you know, like it started to be like, will you shut the fuck up about the spirit? I don't know what's up with the spirit. I don't know, man. Like I'm a winged snake. I live in this fucking cave. I don't know about this spirit. I don't want you to go do anything about it. Get the fuck out of here. You know? And it was just, I was trying not to laugh because obviously, you know, this is how the person plays their character. They're curious about this. This is really inspiring for them and everything like that. But I'm like, I don't think we're getting anything out of this. And then the DM having to be like, will you shut the fuck up about the spirit?
Move on.
I don't know. This wasn't written into the campaign. I clearly just made this up. I don't know what the fuck it is. You know? And so like I said, role playing through this pissy coatl was fucking awesome. Like where it just finally was like, no, I don't want you to do anything about it. Like, and it was, I really enjoyed it. That was my second favorite thing. And then the final thing that happened in the night was so we're the party is being transported around by airship, and then we ended up in a fight with an old favorite.
Yes,
came back.
That's right.
To mess with us.
Venom Fang.
Yeah, so we had gotten into a fight with a young green dragon probably a year and a half ago or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
it was back
very
when we were
early on in
playing
the
Lost
campaign.
Mines.
And then so basically we got into a fight with him again, and he was defeated in probably the best use of spell casting I've seen in a very long time. So we're like 400 feet in the air or something like that on this airship, and the dragon's coming at us. Everybody's panicking. Breath weapon over the ship. People are getting killed and everything like that. And then our bard was like, what if it was the frog though? And he just casts polymorph, and Jamie's like, fuck. And he rolls, and his spell save was low. So literally like that Looney Tunes scene where it just goes oh, and it just disappears off camera, basically. And then it hit the ground. And then the description Jamie gave was phenomenal, which was he kind of lumbers to after he's no longer a frog and starts stumbling away. And then it's this mad scramble of our archer trying to shoot him enough times to kill him, and everybody's tripping balls and stuff like that. That was a great end, and you saw the light in Jamie's eyes because he's like, I got them with this reoccurring villain. Venom Fang's back. He's going to kill them and mess up their shit. And then the bard was just like, and it's a frog, and therefore frogs don't fly.
Down to the ground you go to die.
So Jamie's sails were completely deflated, and everything as his dragon that was this ultimate encounter just smacked and hit the ground as some kind of vertical version of Frogger. And that was the end of that situation. So, so that was the end of the night. So, very last thing we'll talk about quickly. So, how did you feel about the return of Venom Fang and him getting jobbed that hard?
Listen, I expected Venom Fang to do a lot more damage to you guys before he got squeeched. But it is what it is, right? And that's, you guys have been using, especially your bard. Our bard has been doing very well at coming up with interesting applications of spells. So you know what,
it
worked.
We'll have to plan for
maybe, yeah. You know what, it's fun. It makes for great talk afterwards, and it doesn't kill the campaign, right?
No, absolutely.
But so just so you know, Venom Fang did make it to get away.
He did survive, so we will see him again.
So he'll
probably be wearing an amulet of true form or something like that next time. There'll be no more polymorphing. Yeah, there'll be no more polymorphing for Venom Fang. So all right. So thank you for checking out this week's review of our campaign that we're playing. If you have any questions or comments on the campaign, please go ahead and leave those in the comment section below, and I'll let Jamie close out our video.
Gamers, thank you very much once again for taking the time to watch our videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button down below so you see when we upload our new content, which we do actually fairly regularly, at least I'd say once a week. Yeah. If not, even more frequently if we have some extra material to upload and stuff like that. And keep on gaming.